Okay, so candlesticks started out in around 1850 when a Japanese rice trader started using technical analysis. That was pretty much the first time candlesticks, or technical analysis similar to this, have been used. And then over the years, it's changed, obviously, since we have more modern technology and computers and stuff. And then, so this started in Japan. And here in the US has their own version of it that was started by Charles Dow, but that's different technical analysis, and candlesticks was started by the Japanese.
All right, very good.
Scroll down. So candlesticks kind of work like this. Like this sometimes is green and this is sometimes red. So the green is overall goes up and red is overall goes down. So like the real body of it is when it's green or white, this is the open of the market, this is the close. And then this is the most it goes up on that day, that's the lead, that's the most it goes down on that day. Same for this, except this is the open and that's the close. So basically that's how the candlestick charts work. So the US has their this was started by the Japanese, and this is like the US's version of candlesticks. It's a bar chart, but they basically show the same exact thing, just these one are hollow and filled, and these just have lines sticking out on the sides. So candlesticks, there are small, short ones, and there are long ones. So the short ones kind of show indecision in the market, like you can't really tell if it's going to go up or not. But then if it's really long, then it's like obvious if there are more buyers or if there's more supply or there's more demand. And this is a special type of candlestick, and it doesn't have any of the shadows, so the open and close are the high and low. So it's like even more significant, like there's more buying pressure or more selling pressure. So long shadows, if it's like going in, if there's a long upper shadow or there's a long lower shadow, this can signify that there's going to be a change in the direction of the market, because like this, the filled candle with a long upper shadow, so it shows that overall there's more demand than supply, but there's starting to be more supply because at one point there's more people wanted to buy, but then it went back down. So that might signify a shift in the market, or like resistance to going up or down. Spinning tops. This is basically the shadows are like equal length. The upper and lower shadows are equal length, and it's pretty much like a stalemate. Like nothing really changes much. But there's pretty much equal supply and demand. This is a Doji, so these are like, these also show a shift in the market, and these are like pretty important because since there's no real buy, that means the market's open and closed at a similar price, which shows that like it might be starting to shift. Like if there's a long losing streak, and there's a few dojis, that might signify that there's starting to be more buyers that want, and it'll go up. This is still doji, it's just longer shadow. Go down a little bit more. So this is like different doji and candle pairs. And different pairs can signify different things. So like For example, this one, after decline or long black candlestick, a doji indicates that selling pressure may be diminishing. And when there's a hollow candle in a doji, it signifies that the buying pressure might be diminishing. Okay, those are doji, just longer shadows. And this one, dragonfly and gravestone, they're special because they're either missing an upper shadow or a lower shadow. And these pretty much, depending if it's at the end of an uptrend or a downtrend, that it changes the meaning of it. Like if there's an uptrend and then you see one of these, that means it's gonna probably shift and go the other way. So this depends on context. Those are like different combinations. They showed all the different types of candles that there are. So these are like regular long candles. These are short. These look like hammer or hanging man. Yeah. And this is inverted hammer or shooting star. And then this is spinning top. So those are a few of the possible candles that you can see. Now, what candlesticks don't tell you is they show you the low, high, open, close, but they don't tell you what happened in between the open and close. So like as you see here, you could go down and up and then down, or it could go up, down, up, or any possible other combination. There's pretty much infinite combinations that could happen, infinite possibilities that could happen in one day. This is a star position. So these are like different combinations of these candles mean different things. This is a star position. So there are like morning stars and evening stars. And basically what it is there's a candle, long candle, and then there's a gap, and then there's another candle. Like there's a gap between the close and then the open of the next day. And it usually signifies a shift in the market. This is harami. So basically, the first one is a long candle, and then the other one is kind of like a smaller candle, like nestled within like the open and close of the previous candle. And this signifies high volatility. So like pretty much anything like big can happen. It can be a big shift up or down. So these are hammer and hanging man, and depending if it's at the top of an uptrend or bottom of a downtrend, the name changes. So basically, it's a short real body, and then there's a long shadow going down. And this shows like indecision. Like so, first, let's say there's a lot of demand. But then the supply goes back up, so the price goes back up. But that might show that there's going to be a change in the market, or there's resistance to it going up higher or lower. So this is like just examples in a chart of what they look like. So if it's at the bottom, it's called a hammer. If it's at the top, it's a hanging man. And you see after it, it starts to go the other way. Inverted hammer and shooting star. So it's basically the same thing as the hammer and the hanging man. It's just flipped the other way. You can scroll down. So this is inverted hammer. This is shooting star, and they basically mean the similar things. Now these different patterns. All of these different patterns, if you add them up, they come out to be usually either a hammer or a shooting star. So if you go down, like this is a bullish engulfing pattern, if you see this, or bearish engulfing, and then when you add them up, they turn out to be a hammer or shooting star. That's more patterns that add up. Go down. This is